She was always a good student. She was just a good kid, period. Always loved by her teachers, always got good comments on report cards. She was easy to like as a kid.
She was always so humble and always put others above herself.
She just kind of tried to make everybody laugh a lot, in hard situations.
She found the silver lining of every problem or trial and tribulation in her life, and she was able to make good come out of it.
It was at her 6th grade year. She was at the end of the semester, and she came to me once and said, Mom, I have a headache. Could I take something? And I said, sure. So I gave her a couple of Advil and never heard from her again. I mean, she really was our very well child. She never got sick. Those headaches became more frequent. Her birthday is January the 7th, and right before the new semester was going to start, we thought she went to spend next door to make cookies and spend the night with someone, and woke up that morning throwing up. Well, as a parent, we first thought, how many cookies did you eat last night? And then that day, she didn't even want to open up a birthday present, and we thought, nah, something's not right.
She spent most of the day in bed.
Yeah.
And she said he had a bad headache.
And so after that, I said, all right, I think something's not right. Took her to the doctor the next day, and it was thankfully a physician who was really keen on, you're right, something's not right, but she couldn't put her finger on it, and send her first CAT scan. And so when she went to the CAT scan, it was the size of a baseball sitting at the back of her head. And that started that journey.
We went from she ate too many cookies, wasn't feeling well, to we're being admitted with a baseball-sized brain tumor within 20 minutes. It was a fast thing. She wasn't real scared, but I think part of that is because none of us knew what was ahead.
Make-A-Wish came to our house, and then they took Alyssa off by herself, and we waited, and she came back in, and the Make-A-Wish lady said, well, Alyssa's decided. She said, I have everything that I need. Could I give my wish away? Well, what if I drilled a well in Africa to a village that didn't have water?
Matthew West is a Christian artist out there, and he has a song called Do Something. And in that song, it's, I got tired of looking at children being sold into slavery and people living into poverty, and I shook my fist at heaven and said, God, why don't you do something? He said, I did. I created you. So she thought, I'm going to use my wish to do something, like in that song. She had read the book A Long Walk to Water, and that's a book about these kids trying to get water in Africa, and they didn't have a well. And so the song made her think, I want to do something, and the book made her decide on the well. Matthew West heard her story, and he was inspired to give her a wish back, since she gave hers away, and he wrote a song for her called World Changers. And so as he went around the country doing his concerts, he would tell her story. And that got picked up all over the United States. We would get letters from a school in Michigan that adopted that song and did an entire program, or that made that their theme of the year at a school in Dallas, or a school in New Jersey who was implementing her story into their curriculum of teaching that book, A Long Walk to Water, and what people can do to make a difference no matter their age. When she passed, we created the Alyssa Ferguson World Changers Fund. People from literally all over the world, we've had gifts from other countries, all gave to that fund. That's a big part of her legacy, because it will last beyond all of us who knew her.
But other people on their own have said, well, I want to drill a well, and they do it in Alyssa's honor. And so they were so inspired by her story, they decided to go do it. So there's now 8 wells out there and more being built.
I'd say another part of her legacy is the robots that are now in Fort Bend ISD. Mm-hmm. She was the first kid in the district to, when she was too sick to be able to go to school, a robot went in her place. The district then has gone forward and bought several robots and more kids now are going to school through their robot.
Before Alyssa and before she inspired us to get these robots, these students would just disappear. But now with our robots, they can still be involved. They can still have friends. They still have connections.
I think she definitely inspires us. So whenever I do my solos or dances, I dedicate them to her. So last year my solo was to Rise Up, and it was about pretty much her life. And I just tried to portray her story through my dancing.
When she passed away, I made an intentional, conscious decision to continue her legacy as best as I could by showing kindness and compassion to everyone, no matter who they were, because you never know what people are going through. And I think it's really important to be exactly like Alyssa was and be selfless and be grateful and thankful for everything in your life.
Having compassion is the best thing that we can have. And if we can teach that to the thousands of students in Fort Bend ISD and across our country and across our world, think of the love that will be shared instead of the hate. And that's what Alyssa has done. She's inspired us to share that love and that compassion beyond ourselves.